everyone. Thank you for having me here today to discuss the ever-evolving insurance landscape in California. Insurance companies have been non-renewing homeowners policies at an alarming rate, and many have decided to stop offering coverage to new customers. I have some good news that Jim already kind of alluded to of some things that have happened in recent weeks. But before I go down that road, I wanted to try to explain to everyone why this is happening in the first place. I have 5 minutes for an extremely complex topic. I could spend hours literally talking about this. So instead, I am going to give you the 3-minute version of a very complex issue and trust that all of you will walk away understanding there is a lot more to this story that I was not able to get to. So with that said, I want to take you back to December of 2017. The Thomas Fire was burning in Ventura County. And by the time it was under control, it was the most destructive fire in our state's history at $2.2 billion in damage, destroying over 1,000 structures. Just 11 months later, on November 8th of 2018, that record was absolutely shattered by the Camp Fire. The Camp Fire killed 85 people, destroyed over 180,000 structures, and the town of Paradise lost 95% of their structures in about 4 hours. This fire caused $16.5 billion in damage. Far cry from the $2.2 billion that we thought was so large just 11 months earlier. So these are examples of how wildfires in California have become more intense and more destructive over the last several years. Of the 20 most destructive fires in our state's history, 13 occurred in the last 6 years. Insurance companies are concerned this trend of more destructive and more frequent fires is going to continue. So when determining how much insurance should cost, insurance companies are bound by Proposition 103. This requires them to base their pricing on past data. It was passed in the 80s. So they have to look at their data from the last 20 years of what they have actually paid, not what they expect to pay into the future. On top of that restriction, the approval process through the Department of Insurance has taken 2.5 years on average, meaning insurance companies are always behind in getting their pricing models approved. Another factor that everyone can relate to is things are just more expensive right now. In the last few years, we've seen the cost of labor and materials increase significantly. So the cost to rebuild a home is much more expensive. Bottom line is carriers are no longer offering coverage in our state because they are not confident they are going to be able to pay the claims in the event of a catastrophic loss. The current pricing that the regulation requires them to charge is not enough to cover events like we've seen in recent years. In 2018, my company, Morris Garritano, had 13 insurance carriers open to quoting homeowners policies. Today we have 2. So what is the solution? The good news is that in the past few months, the governor's office and the insurance commissioner have finally taken notice. The governor just last week declared a property insurance state of emergency in our state, and the insurance commissioner announced a plan. That plan includes allowing carriers to look at modeling that considers future disasters instead of only looking at historical losses. It would also improve rate filing procedures to allow for more timely pricing changes to take place. It would also require insurers to write a percentage of the homes they insure in wildfire areas. These measures would encourage more companies to stay in the California insurance market. That, along with consumers and government groups doing everything they can to protect property from wildfires, it should foster more competition and help keep pricing in check. It will take a while for state regulators to rewrite the rules. The process includes a lot of time for insurance companies and consumer groups to give their input. The commissioner has given a deadline to the department of December 2024 to have the rules completed. So while it will be over a year before we will see availability shift in California, we are starting to make some progress. In the meantime, my advice to all of you, protect your homes as best you can. There's a website, I can share it with you, that outlines some simple things that you can do. Second, if you have a quote from your current insurance carrier, renew it. It will be very, very challenging to find replacement coverage. Finally, Dawn is here. Help to educate your assembly members, state legislators. This is a state issue. It's a national issue, but how it's impacting our state is unique because Prop 103 is unique to California. Let them know how this is personally impacting you so they know this is happening. They are very busy. I feel guilty after hearing about all the phone calls, but it's important. Change is essential to stabilize the California insurance market, and this is a promising start. Thank you all so much for your time.